It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, as this gentleman used to say, but every neighborhood can use a little bit of sprucing up, right? Well, the same goes for all three of our major sports facilities. Now, Heinz Field was never any architectural masterpiece. It's got those bright yellow seats which turned a lot of people off right away, and it was never going to win any kind of awards. My problems with it had less to do with the seats and more to do with the color of the steel. If you take that steel and make it that dark oxidized black that we have on the U.S. Steel Tower, imagine the strength that this place would have exuded on that count alone. For that matter, let's take a look at the rotundas. When Heinz Field opened, one local architecture critic referred to the canopies atop the Heinz Field rotundas as cocktail umbrellas. I can't think of any better description than that, and more damning. They never should have been put on there. Similar structures were supposed to be put on the PNC Park rotundas, but were rejected by the mayor and his committee. I don't know why that didn't happen here. They make the place look dainty and happy and whatever else, and everything you don't want in a football stadium. Simple solution: ditch the canopies. Worst by far is this tent village that the Steelers keep out on the front lawn by the river. It's got to go. Now, it's hard to improve upon perfection. PNC Park is the best ballpark in America, and that's not hyperbole. It's almost universally agreed upon by people who go around and see all of them. That said, the place is not perfect.
It might sound contradictory, but it shouldn't. For while PNC Park is a perfect aesthetic structure, it's also perfectly hemmed in by the street grids, and as a result, doesn't have much, if any, room for expansion or for allowing the concourses to grow. The existing street grid of Federal Street and the 90-year-old Clemente Bridge have nowhere to go. They even had to add roughly 36 to 40 feet of artificial shoreline to make sure that the footprint expanded at the time of construction. Which means that the space that you see is the space that you're going to get, and it's not going to change. And as the Pirates have become more popular in recent years and sold out the facility on a regular basis, they found that the concourses, especially, are too narrow, and people are getting crowded and bumping into each other and not necessarily enjoying the experience as much as they did, say, 3-4 years ago. You know, apart from the whole winning thing and all. The only real solution, ultimately, could be expanding seats in center field by just a little bit, maybe 1,000 or 2,000, or clearing out some of the existing concourses and making sure they're not too cluttered.
Now, if Heinz Field wasn't going to win any architectural awards, Consol Energy Center certainly won't either. This is actually the side of the building that faces where the Civic Arena, one of the world's most remarkable structures, once stood. To me, the problem with Consol has never been the inside, although it has issues on the concourses at the upper levels as well. The much bigger issue is just plain old design. One architect referred to this place as Home Depot on steroids. Mike Lang, the Penguins Hall of Fame announcer, once came up with the beautiful idea to have the Civic Arena incorporated as somehow part of the design of Consol Energy Center. Maybe it could have had a domed roof of some kind. Maybe it could have had a dome here at the entrance. Maybe it could have had part of the black steel bar that held up the old arena. Nothing. There's no semblance of that structure here. There's no homage paid to it other than obviously Mario Lemieux's presence here on Center Avenue. I've heard tell that part of that black arm that held up the arena is in storage somewhere and could be used someday as part of a bridge or pedestrian bridge or something small like that that would cross over Center Avenue. But until I see that, I'm not going to believe it. But sorry, nothing tops this mess. Absolutely inexcusable. And to happen in this guy's backyard. Here, Fred, have a drink.